The 5 basic steps of wholesaling real estate. What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you the 5 basic steps of wholesaling real estate for beginners, so you know exactly the steps of wholesaling real estate. So many real estate educators and gurus and YouTubers out here really complicate the wholesaling real estate process. They say you got to buy my course to learn all this stuff, and they make wholesaling really confusing and try to sell you a solution and make the course simpler so you can learn wholesaling simpler. But in today's video and on this channel, I teach wholesaling real estate in a way where it's really simple, easy, and amazing for you to actually go out here and learn wholesaling step by step. So really, wholesaling real estate really comes down to 5 basic steps. And as you learn them, it really even turns into 4 if you really want to get into it really simple. But let me kind of break down these 5 basic steps for you. So as a beginner, you can really understand this process as simple as possible. So if you're brand new into wholesaling real estate, let's go over the steps right now. But before I get into it, do me a big favor and smash that like button and subscribe, and let's break it all down. Remember, I'm going to say this one last time here. If you want to learn wholesaling real estate for free, just go to my free wholesaling course. That is my free A to Z guide on wholesaling real estate. Now let's break into the steps. So there's really basically 5 simple steps to wholesaling real estate. And the first step getting into wholesaling is just really, this is basically it. Let me just break it in. Let's just break it all down right now. Now, number 1 is when you're starting on real estate wholesaling, you want to get educated. That's going to be number 1 first. Like, obviously you can't start taking the action if you don't know what you're doing, right? Like, what do I do? So if you want to get started in wholesaling real estate, get educated. So I recommend you subscribe to this YouTube channel. You watch my lives, you ask questions, you go to freewholesaling.com, go through the course. I actually have a 30-day free real estate wholesaling challenge where basically I'm your guide for 30 days from the A to Z process of wholesaling, contracts, all that stuff that might seem confusing starting out right now. Just get educated first on the process. Don't become educated on like, oh my gosh, I gotta learn everything. Like, get educated on like the common steps, which should take you like an hour, really, to break it down. And this video should be education enough of like the common steps of it. Now, the first part here, you get educated, and also in this one, you're gonna have to find a title company. You gotta understand that you either gonna need a title company and or an attorney for closing. Like New York State, you're actually going to need to find an attorney, which is actually really simple at freewholesaling.com. We kind of basically break that down. But for most other states, you're going to need a title company. So a title company is going to be that person, that third-party intermediary that is going to be between the seller and the buyer and you. And they are going to actually get the funds. So when the deal closes, the cash buyer gives the money to the title company, and then the title company will give the seller the money that you agreed with them to, and then they'll also give you a check for that assignment fee. So pretty good process, just finding the title company. At freewholesaling.com, again, we actually break down the exact questions you have to ask the title company, actually how to find them, and how to go to like a website like facebook.com, go in a group and like find like the top 5 wholesaling friendly title companies in your local market in probably less than 15 minutes. Like, it's really simple from there. So that is the first step we have to do. Now you can kind of do this step also while doing the other things, but it does help to get it done really off the bat. Step 2 here is marketing. And if you already have your title company and you kind of already educated, then it's really these 4 steps. So number 2 here is going to be marketing. Marketing is basically the process of us just trying to reach somebody who wants to sell their property. The only point in marketing, I'm making this really simple because this is the truth. No other coach or guru tells you this. The point of the marketing step right here is just to get somebody to say, yes, I'm looking to sell my house. The entire process of finding a person, a motivated seller who says, hey, I want to sell my house. I'm interested in selling it for cash. That's all we're looking for. So how do we do this? A little more complicated than that, but basically how do we do it? Now, marketing comes down to 2 things. These are lists and marketing channel. So let's kind of break this down. So we just got to find a list of people who potentially might have a motivation for selling the property for cash for a discount for us to make a profit on the deal. So what kind of list are these? These can be anything. Like I kind of break down like government list to a point, or like a pre-foreclosure. So you can go to like listrei.com or like zacdata.com and go on there and actually purchase a list. You can get like a pre-foreclosure list, which I don't want to say all these crazy wholesaling terms. That's why freewholesaling.com, I kind of have my little wholesaling dictionary, all the acronyms, jargon we all say in wholesaling and real estate investing. That might seem confusing starting out. I get it if I'm saying terms that confuse you. Go to freewholesaling.com. It'll kind of explain it a little easier there for you. But basically, like a pre-foreclosure is basically somebody who is behind 2 or 3 payments on their mortgage. They actually haven't paid their mortgage payments in like 3-4 months maybe. And they might be a candidate for actually just wanting to get rid of the property. If they can't afford to pay the mortgage, maybe they're not, making the house better. Maybe they're not fixing it up. Maybe they just want to sell it cash, and we can make money as a real estate wholesale on this, putting the property under contract and selling it to a end cash buyer, rich landlord, house flipper for a big profit. So we might pull a list from there. And then we have to figure out our marketing channel. So what type of marketing channel? So this could be something where like, how do I actually reach these people? So I have a list of 100 people that are behind 5 months on the mortgage, right? How do I reach out to my message that I'm looking to buy properties for cash and I can actually help you out? There's multiple ways to do it. Now, the number one way, the most common way in wholesaling is by cold calling them. So just, grabbing your phone and then just calling them saying, hey, Mr. Seller, are you looking to sell your property cash? Are you the owner? Just basically a quick conversation like that. We have all the scripts at freewholesaling.com. Another quick way too is like using a software like ZachData.com has like text blasting in it where you can just actually text like 1,000 people in like, 5 minutes with like software and just text people saying, hey, this is Zach. I had a quick question at the house. You have a little text. Are you interested? And then you get on the phone, call them, right? So SMS text blasting, another one. You can also just put sticky notes on someone's houses. This is called reverse drawing for dollars. This is one I really love, where you take a sticky note, you slap that on that pre-foreclosure's house. So you go to like 50 houses or like 20 houses on like a Saturday or something. Right, hey, this is Zach. I had a quick question on your property. Please call me. You're going to get like 20 to 30% of those people calling you back. And they might say, hey, I saw someone put a sticky note on my house. What's going on? Say, hey, this is Zach. Hey, I was driving around the house. Me and my partner, your cash buyer, are looking to buy some properties cash in the area. You're looking to sell it. The point of marketing is just getting the word out there that you are looking to buy properties cash. And it's best to put your word out there to people that are actually interested. The one thing about marketing, I think this is really important, but like, you can't sell peanut butter to people that are deathly allergic to peanut butter. And that is the point. You do not want to go try and ask people if they want to sell their house if they don't have a criteria for wanting to sell. You want to sell to people that absolutely love peanut butter. So if you have a list of people that attended the 2022 Peanut Butter Lovers Convention and you're selling Reese's Pieces chocolate candy with peanut butter in it, that's going to be a really good list, right? You don't want to go over the list of the I hate peanut butter convention or the peanut allergy convention, right? Like, it's not going to do really well. So you actually want to go after people that actually want to sell the property cash or actually have a motivation for selling the property for cash. Now, once we talk to them, we're going to go have a conversation with them and see if they want to sell. Either we're going to go to their house in person and actually meet them at the house and try to get a contract to actually get the property done. So basically step 3 is having an appointment, meeting at the house, or actually doing over the phone or doing virtual wholesaling. Remember, the virtual wholesaling course and everything is still at freewholesaling.com. So we either agree to meet at their house. That's step number 3. We qualify them. We ask them questions like, hey, why are you looking to sell the property? What price are you looking to sell the house? This is where we kind of figure out what the value of the house is. This is called comping a property. Very, very common, very easy way to do it. Again, at freewholesaling.com, I kind of teach you actually how to calculate how much the property is worth to a cash buyer. I have my formulas. It's very easy from there. Basically, we can calculate more or less, hey, this house is worth $100,000 to a cash buyer, which means if someone's willing to buy it for $100,000, when I meet them at the house, I want to lock up the contract. I actually want to get a contract signed for, let's say, $90,000. That means I can sell it to a cash buyer. I can assign the contract and actually make $10,000 on a finder's fee because they're willing to buy it for $100,000. I have it locked up for $90,000. That means I can make $10,000 in profit. $100,000 minus $90,000 is $10,000 in profit. So that's step 3. Step 4, we actually get that contract signed between me as the buyer, them as the seller. We send our earnest money deposit to the title company, which is basically our down payment on the property. It's like $100. It just makes sure that we are confirmed and we're legally a buyer on this deal. Oh my gosh, Zach. Oh my gosh, I don't have the money for the house. What do I do, right? Don't worry. We're actually going to sell the contract. We're actually not going to buy it. Maybe you can buy it, but your cash partner is actually just going to buy it. So that means your cash partner on the transaction is actually going to buy the property. What we're going to do is step 5 is we're actually going to find a cash buyer. You can call the 4 rents in your area. There's a lot of lists you can pull. There's Facebook groups to find this. It's all at freewholesaling.com. And what we're going to do here is find that cash buyer. They're going to walk through the house with us. So we're actually going to show the house to them. Say, hey, Mr. Cash Buyer, how much do you want to sell this, buy this property for? Like, oh, I want to buy this probably $100,000. Or you say, I'm selling this contract for $100,000. Okay, $100,000 works. I just got to go by the house. So they walk by the house. They look at it with the seller there. It's all fine. You're going to be in there talking to the seller. Basically, that's your partner in the transaction. They're walking through the house, and when they walk through the property, you say, okay, it's all good. And then basically what you do is you actually sign a piece of paper like you did with the seller, and that piece of paper is just a sign of the contract. It's called an assignment of contract. Now, that assignment of contract is basically stating that, hey, me, Zach Ginn, I'm selling this contract, my equitable interest, that's the legal definition of this real estate contract, to this cash buyer for a $10,000 assignment fee, which is basically our finder's fee. So it basically states that on closing, you're going to pay $90,000 to the seller. That's the price we agreed with the seller. And they're going to pay $10,000 of an assignment fee to Zach Ginn. As a total, you will be owing $100,000 on closing day. Boom, closing day arrives, and cash buyer at closing day gives $100,000 to the title company. $90,000, which we originally agreed with the seller, goes to them, and then $10,000 goes to us. Seller's happy, the buyer's happy, and hey, we have a $10,000 check in real estate wholesaling. Of course, I'm happy. So guys, those are the 5 basic steps of wholesaling real estate. I know I said that fast, but I really wanted to break down in a really short format the entire wholesaling real estate process as simply as I could basically put it. Off the top, let's say it one more time. I actually find somebody I get a title company, I get educated, I find someone who wants to sell the property for cash. I meet them at the house, or I actually lock up the thing over the phone with like an e-signing service. I get a purchase and sale agreement signed, basically an agreement for me to purchase the property for cash. I sell that piece of paper to a end landlord or a flipper, and I walk into the house. They agree to buy it for a price over whatever under contract. I get the difference between that as an assignment fee or finder's fee, and I make a nice, pretty real estate wholesaling check. And that's the entire real estate wholesaling process. If you want to learn wholesaling real estate absolutely for free, go to freewholesaling.com. That's my free wholesaling course. It's literally a $5,000 course I give absolutely for free. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Have a blessed one.